Hello everyone, myself Jaya Agarwal, Assistant Professor Political Science, SPCGCA Ajmer. I welcome you all once again in my this video or in this chapter or topic, that is Manu, ancient Indian political thinker, and this is paper second OBA part first. And in this video we are going to study or cover the administrative system according to Manu, or administrative setup described by Manu. We know that no administrative system, without administrative system no state can be run, and this is essential for a king, that he should maintain a better administrative system for the welfare of the public, welfare of his subjects, as well as for the state. So let's have a look how the all the details have been described by Manu for administration. Manu divides the administration of the state at two levels: administration of the forfeited capital, administration of the Janpad or country. Here we can see that Manu has divided the state into two parts, not literally but just only for the better administration. First one is forfeited capital, second one is Janpad or country. To understand this thing, we can say that forfeited capital, that means such area where the king lives, means residence of the king, that is called forfeited capital. And besides forfeited capital, the remaining area of the state will be called Janpad or country. So this is very clear that one side, that is king, where the king lives, and second one is Janpad or country, when his subjects or people or public live. So in this video we will see that what would be the administration of the forfeited capital, and what about the administration of the Janpad or country, how we will manage all these things. The king is advised to reside in forfeited place only. Earlier we have talked about it earlier, that forfeited capital means where the king lives, or he residence of the king. So the king is advised, Manu suggested the king that he should reside in forfeited place only, because forfeited place is specially for the king, is specially decided for the king. And such forfeited places are six. Manu has categorized these forfeited places, and there are six categories. One by one we will have a look that how Manu has categorized these forts. First one is Dhan fort, that is desert. Second one Mahi fort. Third one Jal fort, that is water. And Vriksha fort, that is jungle or forest. And Human fort, and Giri fort. Giri fort, that is hills or mountains. So there are six types of forts. One by one we have covered them. And for the examination point of view, this is a such type of we can say uh, short question or descriptive question, we can say it, as we the examiner may ask you that how many types of forts told by Manu. These are six: Dhan fort, Mahi fort, Jal fort, Vriksha fort, Human fort, and Giri fort. I have repeated them. Now, his fort or residence should be amidst mountains, equipped with all amenities, safety devices, offices, and resources. Here, Manu says that the residence of the king should have all amenities, safety devices, offices, and resources. That's mean there should not be any type of scarcity, uh, because the king is the main component or element of the state. He is to perform his duty for the welfare of his public as well as for the state. And that's why it is very much important that his residence, or where he lives, it should have all amenities, safety devices, offices, and resources. All resources means all natural resources, and such other type of things. Second one is the Janpad administration is again divided into two parts, and we can see first one is rural administration, second one is town administration. So we can see that administrative Manu has clearly mentioned that there should be two levels of administrative system. First one is for a forfeited capital, second one is Janpad or country. But later we see that Janpad or country, the administration of the Janpad or country, it again has been divided into two parts. The one for rural administration, rural means villages, and second one is town or town administration. So we will see that what is the difference between rural administration and town administration. The villages, for the sake of efficient and effective administration, should be organized into groups of 1, 10, 100 and 1000 villages. This is the best thing, or this can be said as, this can be described as decentralization. Administrative decentralization means there should not be a centralized system in administration. We will have to distribute of powers, or we should have division of powers among the villages one by one. We can clearly see that at the bottom level there will be one village, and next one will be consists of 10 villages, and third step will be consisted of 100 villages, and fourth one is 1000 villages. They are run by big and small administrators. There is hierarchy, we can see hierarchy system is there. Hierarchy means there is the division of work, function, duties and rights according to the level of the administration. So there is hierarchy of gramik means, one village which and head of one village will be called gramik, and Dashgrampati will be head of 10 villages, 20 villages will be headed by Vivispati, 100 villages will be headed by Shati, and 1000 villages will be headed by Sahasrapati. This is very important. As we can clearly see, this is decentralization. Once again I say, this is decentralization, and at the bottom level that there is gramik for one village, and uh, at the top level there is Sahasrapati, head of 1000 villages. They are also called Rakshak or protector, responsible for maintaining law and order, revenue realization, punishment, etc. In brief, we can say that every head or have every whoever will be leader of one village or 10 villages will have to perform such duties, all the duties regarding that village or villages. Such like that, some examples or some instances are there, like maintaining law and order, revenue realization means taxation system, punishment, that's mean judicial system. That's mean each village will be a unit in itself regarding works or functions or duties towards the people. Town head Swarth Chintak, who was helped and assisted by many subordinate officials, and this is the administration of the town, and there will be Swarth Chintak, that a town will be headed by Swarth Chintak, that is an officer which will be helped and assisted by many other subordinate officials, and Swarth Chintak will perform the same duties as at town level, which will be performed at the village level, with by Gramik or Dashgrampati or Vivispati or Shati or Sahasrapati. That's all from my side for today. Thank you very much.